you brought up a point about ESG, and I get excited about technologies like these because I've been having a lot of conversations lately. A couple guys that come to the top of my head are Kevin Stevens at Intellis Capital and John Tuff at Energize. And both of these guys look at the energy transition in a pragmatic manner. You know, everyone thinks that we're just going to drop hydrocarbons tomorrow and all of a sudden we're going to be running off of solar and wind. And it's not realistic. Anyone that understands energy knows this, but there's so much room for improvement on cleaning up oil and gas and creating efficiencies. Like you look here, it's just like you got this pump jack that's just going up and down all day and it's burning off energy. What if we capture that energy and we're able to save, 30%? So what are you guys seeing in terms of adoption from E&Ps? Is that a big selling point for you? Because, all these E&Ps, bondholders, investors are asking them like, hey, what's your plan for ESG? And it's funny. I had an E&P a while back. He said a bondholder asked him that. And he's like, ESG, he's like, we're an oil and gas company. We want to drill a well and not kill anyone. That's our ESG plan. Right. But that's not a sufficient answer anymore, right? Like you have to be doing some things. So is that a big strategy for you guys to play off that?
So I think, we certainly look at this in a pragmatic way too, and understand that, just from my point of view, that the energy industry is going to be here for a while. The notion of what that energy mix might look like is changing over time, particularly as, folks like my friend Aaron here, big fan of Teslas, right? And so you see those kind of really changing the market and demand.
That's a lie. Was it sarcastic?
That was sarcastic. And so anyhow, what we know is if you kind of get into what you're hearing from different leadership at companies, they're talking more and more about the importance of ESG, and that's really being driven by investors. And it's the right thing to do, right? Be able to ask, how do we use our resources more efficiently? And so what we hope is that we can come in under the value proposition of being able to solve a problem which is related to operations, reducing expenses. And what we know is that if our solution is the right one and to help you save money, it's also going to give you an ESG outcome. And so we really wanted to approach this conversation not as we are only selling you an ESG product. No, we actually are going to sell you a product that is solving an operations problem that's going to reduce your expenses. And as an added benefit is also making the environment better. And so that was something that I think most operators can really see very clearly that, hey, if there's a dual purpose benefit, we're all in, right? Yeah. And, I heard some folks from an oil and gas company say in a recent interview that they get really excited at the intersection of technologies that can do that for them, right? Because it becomes a really easy decision to be able to maximize on both fronts.
It's a win-win. I mean, if you look at the expense front, I mean, when you look at LOEs, electricity is eating up the bulk of these operating expenses, right? So if you can tell these companies, it's like, hey, we can save you, X amount on electricity. And then also, hey, this is helping, for your ESG score. It's a no-brainer, really.